Welcome, everyone, to episode 21 of Full Court Magic. I am your host, Don Strouble, and I am sorry I've been away for a while. The last time I got to do a full length podcast episode for the channel was 10 days ago, where I was talking about game one um, of this Magic Pistons first round series. And so much has changed since then. And if you've kept up with me, excuse me, via Roundtable Sports, our Orlando Magic Roundtable, which we are almost to 200 members at. As a side note, so tell your friends, tell your family, please come join if you have not yet. Uh, you'll know that I've been in the building. Same with if you've seen my YouTube shorts, you'll know I've been in the building. You know I've been covering this series from top to bottom. And the Magic are in some ways in a very advantageous situations, holding a 3-1 lead as they try to close this thing out in Detroit tonight. But in other ways, they are not in an advantageous situation after a gritty, hard-fought, defensive-centric Game 4 win by a score of 94-88. The Magic were able to take this 3-1 series lead, but it did not come without its downside, and that is that Franz Wagner had to exit the game late in the third quarter with what he described to reporters afterwards as tightness in his right calf. And Wagner, after an MRI, it was revealed that he has suffered a right calf strain. This is a gut punch for this Magic team because not only has Wagner been efficient offensively? I mean, I believe he had 19 points on 7 of 15 shooting before exiting the game the other night. He has been the primary defender on Cade Cunningham and has done an excellent job putting Cade Cunningham in jail. And so this is a Magic group that clearly struggled without the services of Wagner when he missed the better part of 4 months with that nagging left ankle that he suffered a high sprain in way back in December, in a December 7th game against the New York Knicks. The Magic struggled without him. But even when he came back to the floor, the Magic were still struggling. I mean, it was not even 2 weeks ago that we were talking about what might be the end for this group. If they could not get through the play-in tournament, and they were truly on life support, had one last chance against the Charlotte Hornets, took care of business, and now look like a whole new team since then. I mean, I don't know if anybody would have believed the Magic to be up 3-1 in this series. I know that some figures in the national media, picked this to go 6 or 7 games, but I don't think that anyone thought it was going to look like this, and so much of that has been because of Franz Wagner. But it's not only because of Franz Wagner. This is a Magic group that has shown up when it's needed to, shown up in ways that are, what's a good way to put this? Indicative of the talent that we always thought that this group would possess and demonstrate coming into this season. I mean, after the trade for Bane, I've talked about this ad nauseum. There were talks about this team maybe taking the 1 seed in the East into the postseason, making a deep postseason run. Now we're finally seeing those kind of things. Desmond Bane has played well after some tough shooting nights. Obviously, tied the franchise record for threes in Game 3. Was solid again the other night, 5 of 10 from the perimeter, led the team in scoring with 22 points. So the Magic still have plenty of talent, but the loss of Franz Wagner would hurt. And Paolo Banchero said it today after shoot around in Detroit. He said, calf strain, you don't want to mess around with that. I don't think that would be very smart, alluding to Wagner playing tonight, because when I checked the injury report around 3:30, Wagner was still questionable. The team had not made and has not made, as far as I know, at this moment of recording, an official announcement on Wagner's status. But Banchero knows. I mean, it's the same mantra it's been all year long with this group. The same mantra it's been all year long. next man up. And it's unfortunate, I mean, it's that Jamal Mosley likes to call it by committee. All right, well, let's see what the committee does. And most importantly, what can Paolo Banchero do? Because if we're being honest, guys, Paolo struggled. He struggled in game 4. He's been very good throughout this series. Excuse me, in a lot of ways. But game 4 was a rough one. It was a rough one. I mean, we are talking about, just want to make sure I get my numbers completely correct here. 4 of 18 from the field, 0 of 4 for 3 for 18 points. Now, did have the 8 rebounds, only turned the ball over twice, did have a steal and a block. But this is after coming off a game 3 in which, yeah, he didn't shoot the ball necessarily well, but I mean, his stat line made history. I believe it was 29, 12, and 9 with 3 steals and 2 blocks. I'm to double check that. So don't quote me verbatim here, but he's the youngest player to do that in NBA history in the playoffs. I mean, you know, Paolo Banchero is still the face of this franchise, but without Franz Wagner, you can't go 4 for 18. You can't. And I'm sure he knows that. Jalen Suggs cannot go 1 for 13 from the field. I mean, those two, we're talking about 5 for 31, guys. 1 of 15 from 3-point range. Cannot happen. It can't. And so they are going to have to find a way to pick up the load and pick up, you know, more of the responsibility that is left behind by what I am assuming, and I know I shouldn't do that. I know I should not do that as a member of the media and as a practicing journalist, but it's hard for me to believe that Franz Wagner will play tonight. And if he plays tonight, it will be reckless because what do calf strains turn into? They turn into Achilles tears. I mean, we saw this happen with Kevin Durant in the 2019 finals, right? We saw this happen with Tyrese Halliburton last season. The only player that I have seen get really lucky with these things, but even had to sit out 2 years ago in the second round series against the Boston Celtics, was Cleveland Cavaliers guard Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell has been able to play on a calf strain and has come away uh, beating out the worst case scenario, which is that Achilles tear. But too many times players have not been so lucky. And so you don't, with this 3-1 lead, you have to rely on your Paolo Banchero, your Desmond Bain, your Jalen Suggs. And then where can the role players fit in? What can Anthony Black give you? Jamal Cain had the game of his life the other night. Even though he didn't fill up the stat sheet, but 8 points, 9 rebounds, 3 crucial offensive rebounds, and a poster dunk over Jalen Duren that the internet will not be forgetting for a long time, I imagine. What's Tristan Da Silva going to give you? Goga Batadze, right? Like, it's a team effort. And it sucks that this has how Fran's season has gone. And it felt like the Magic were getting him back and he was ramping up at the perfect time, especially with how this team has miraculously turned this season around in a span of a couple weeks. But the injury bug is something that this franchise is all too acquainted with. And it's just something that they're going to have to find a way around. This is a Pistons team too that is going to be playing with their hair on fire, going to be playing with a level of desperation because they are truly on the ropes. And Cade Cunningham has been bad. I mean, the Magic have made his life really, really difficult. We're talking about a game where he just shot 7 of 23 from the field, 3 of 11 from 3, 8 turnovers. There was a stat. Let me pull this up because I don't want to say things and get them wrong. I just want to double check this to be sure. Yeah, Cunningham has this crazy stat, not in a good way. Not in a good way whatsoever. Yeah, 24 turnovers over his last 3 games. That's what Cade Cunningham has. That is the most in a 3 game span since turnovers were officially tracked and begun tracking in 1977-78. I mean, the Magic put him in jail. They have just completely suppressed anything he has tried to do. Um, and it is affecting everything. It's affecting his distribution. It's affecting his shot creation. It is affecting everything that Cade tries to do. And so if the Magic can do that again, that is what's made this so hard for Detroit. And I talked about this coming into this series is, you know, this is not a team that has an abundance of offensive options, right? Like you can argue that the Magic have several more options that can go and get their shot and multiple more all-star caliber players. I mean, at any given time, Paolo Banchero's been an all-star. Franz Wagner and Desmond Bain still looking to get one, but all of those guys are of that ilk and of that caliber. Jalen Duren, yeah, you could say that, yeah, for sure. But he hasn't played like it in this series. So who outside of Cade is generating an abundance of offense? They don't have that guy. And so can you win the non-Cade Cunningham minutes on the floor, especially in a hostile environment like Little Caesars Arena is going to be tonight? Or at least you expect it to be. And can you continue to put him in jail even without the potential services of Franz Wagner, potentially without those services? So that's where things are at for this Magic team. And the mantra is the job's not finished, right? Like they know that. Coach Jamal Mosley said after the Game 4 win that it means nothing. It means nothing because it's 3-1. No team is ever coming back from 3-0 down. This is 3-1. And we've seen that on many occasions in the postseason, a team overcoming that deficit. And this Franz Wagner news is significant, but it does not mean that the Magic cannot close the deal. And it does not mean that they cannot close the deal on the road because they already stole one in Detroit. They already punched Detroit in the mouth first in their house when the Pistons and their fan base were full of hype and excitement after a 60-win season in which they secured the top seed in the Eastern Conference. And they were going to play their first playoff game of the series. It's totally different now. Can the Magic keep up this momentum even without their best player? We're going to find out. As always, episode is powered by Roundtable Sports. That link is in the description, guys. Please, please, please join up. Tell your friends, tell your family. I appreciate you all supporting the Full Court Magic YouTube page. We're almost at 30 subscribers, so slow but organic growth. Geez, sorry, can't talk today. Slow but organic growth that I really appreciate. And we're so close to 200 members on the Orlando Magic Roundtable page, trying to get to 300 before the end of May. We really want you guys in on the discussion. Like I said, totally free, no paywalls whatsoever. Quick sign up you can be a part of this conversation with us. I mean, it's not just about, commenting on a story. You can make community posts, you can submit videos, we want this to be a group in which we can all have discussions and discourse about this team. So please, please join. Link is in the description. Thank you as always for tuning in. We are now at this point. Game starts at 7. So about 2.5 hours of tip. And yeah, so once again, thank you guys. I will have a post-game story up on the Orlando Magic Roundtable with a video as well containing my brief thoughts. But as always, thanks again. I'm Don Strouble. This has been Full Court Magic.